And the lineup was, first it was Mike Johnson, then it was Vivek, then it was Tulsi, then it was RFK Jr., Hulk, Dr. Phil, Dana White, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Melania, and Donald Trump. What a lineup.
I know.
Right.
I know.
There were people before that.
And by the way,
Right.
Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, two people that Oprah gave huge breaks to
Yeah,
and
you're
very
right.
successful shows.
You're right.
And both said, you can have them. I'm staying here. I was shocked to see Dr. Phil there, even though you get the sense, you know, where Dr. Phil stands.
I was shocked, too.
That's a major thing because he starts his own network, interviewed Trump twice. Same thing with Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey's usually apolitical, you know where he stands conservatively, financially. After he interviews Trump, he's like, I am in. So I think that's pretty significant. If we could just go back 1 second and put up that
Joe
full
Rogan,
screen.
how about Joe Rogan? He hasn't endorsed yet, right? Didn't
No,
Trump say in the interview?
I don't think he will, and he says, I want to sit down with Kamala Harris, but I listened to the whole thing. They really had a great conversation, mutual respect there. But he said, Dana White is the reason you're here. And when you got shot, you just sold me. I thought it was important. He said, I never would have voted for Biden. I was giving her a shot. I'd like to have a conversation with her. That Wall Street Journal list, substantive list, rhetoric aside, I think this is important. This is what she stands for, and this is what Andy Kutzler wrote about today. Forget about your opinion, male, female, Republican, or Democrat. No one's talking about that anymore. Price controls, she mentioned it. Price gouging, it doesn't exist. The tax rate, you might not like rich people, but they buy a lot of businesses, they grow a lot of businesses. Give them that 2% back, that'll give them more money into the system. Heavier regulation, they came cascading down, ask anyone in oil and gas.
Yep.
Federal housing controls. The reason why you buy a house, there's all these environmental and all these other issues. They stop building for 4 years, and this is what we get. Now, Trump is not perfect, but you know he's going to go on to anti-regulation. He's going to try to get as less taxes as possible because he believes the more money you give people to keep, he believes the growth is going to get there.
Close the border. He's going to cut
the border's key, too.
The border's huge crimes, huge energy bills. He's going to decrease them 50% within the first year, he says.
And you saw the energy there in the stadium yesterday. But that energy is nothing if people don't show up to the polls.
Right.
And I think the former president, Elon Musk, made it very clear. This is something different from the last time. You got to vote early. You got to make it too big to rig. Here's the former president.
Early voting is underway in every swing state, and we are setting all-time records. They're voting, I tell you what. I don't want to talk about it. But we have to keep it going. You got to get out and vote. We just have to get out. And who would have thought this was going to happen? We're leading in every swing state. But it doesn't mean a thing.
Vote early. Vote now. Yeah. Make the margin of victory so big that you know what can't happen. Massive, overwhelming sweep of every swing state, and even some of the states that people don't think are swing states. Massive, crushing victory. Get everyone, friends, family, people on the street. Put the signs up, put the hat on.
Hey guys, Democrats, you did that. By vilifying him when he bought X, by trying to sue him with his space program and take him down when it comes to Tesla, leaving him out of all green conversations, you forced him to go to Trump.
And going after his kid, too.
You made a huge mistake because he's got a huge ground game, too.
Look at that graphic right there.
Right,
That's
exactly.
unbelievable. We're not surprised by the Democrats because they normally vote early.
Right.
But look at the Republican number. It's almost up there with the Democrats.
It's surging. And so let's go ahead and look state by state at how it's breaking down, Ainsley.
All right, so let's start with Arizona. It looks like 35% are Democrats who have already voted, 42% Republican. Why is that?
Well, what's interesting is that 35 and 42 does not add up to 100%. That's because 23% of the people who requested votes
77.
are independents or third parties. So while that number is really good for Republicans, keep in mind there's 23% independents who also are out there. that could swing the election.
When you look at Georgia, it's at 2.7 million early votes.
You mean
Almost
Jim
3
Crow
million.
2.0? Are you sure no one passed out from not getting water? I mean, do we
They're
know?
showing up.
Has anyone lost consciousness?
I haven't received their report.
Oh, okay. I'm going to look into that.
And in Michigan, it's at 1.6 million as well.
So now in Nevada, look at that number. Republicans have returned 40% of the Republicans who requested, of all the early votes, 40% are Republican, 35% are Democrats.
Why is that? Is that because he was the first to say no tax on tips?
Well, I don't know, but keep in mind.
It's a good question.
Keep in mind, I think a lot of people just have heard so many times that 2020 their vote was stolen, and so they're trying to get it in, regardless. But you also have to keep in mind that in Nevada, 25% are they are not third party, essentially.
I don't think, Steve, I've ever voted early, and I'm going to vote early.
Yeah,
you can
I
start
did
now.
too.
I always
Before.
vote.
I tried twice over the weekend. The line was 3 hours long.
No
One time
way.
I started at 8:45 in the morning. I drove by Sunday.
Really?
At 3 hours. I asked the guy at the end. He goes, I asked the guy as he came out, how long did it take? 3 hours. Okay, I'll just go Sunday. No one's going to go on Sunday.
Wait, do you
Packed again, 3 hours.
And does it depend on the state? Because I know in some states you have to call in advance and find out where you go because it's not where you normally would go.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Early voting is often different than
Yes.
the day of it.
Election day. And you look at North Carolina, despite all the storms and everything that's there, 33% Democrat, 34% Republican, totaling up to 2.7 million.
Well,
Good
the
for North
Democrats got to feel
Carolina.
good
They
about
realize it's
Pennsylvania, though.
important.
But
That's a huge number.
It is.
The thing about North Carolina, Lawrence, is there are more independents in North Carolina than Democrats or Republicans.
What about Pennsylvania, Steve? What's going on there? So
Well,
many
in
more
Pennsylvania,
Democrats.
1.4 million third-party people in that state. So while Democrats are 60% and Republicans are 30%, how is that final, 1.4 million going to vote in Pennsylvania? Our point is swing state early voting looks really good for Republicans and surging over historical levels. And we don't know exactly why that is. We just know that there are also so many independents in each of these states. While they look encouraging in a couple of states, got to keep in mind, how are the independents voting?
I will say the last time, just from my, take it with a grain of salt if you want to, when I'm talking with friends and family, last election, people were much more relaxed when it came down to voting. Oh, yeah, I'm going to show it. Now it seems like it's a massive appeal. Okay, I got my vote in, bringing people to the polls.
Yeah,
It
but
just
last
seems
time, a drop
way
box
different.
on every corner.
It's true.
And
very
what,
cool to
drive-through
vote.
voting?
Yeah.
Drive-through voting?
Yeah.
What is, I mean, how did we ever accept that? Hi, honey, pass your ballots up front.
Right.
Handed it to the guy at the drive-through window.
But-
Are you
Donald
crazy?
Trump at the drive-through window, like McDonald's.
That's funny. But it was a global pandemic, and people were afraid to be around everybody.
I forgot
And-
about the pandemic.
so many people
please
just
don't
dropped
take us
it
back
off
there.
or mailed it in. And so it looks like this is a new trend for America, which is good because, Brian, that way you don't have to wait in line 3 hours.
It's true.
All right, so let's see what happens.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.